going to clean my makeup brushes, whether people want it live or not. Because I need to get it done, and I've been super busy, and when am I going to get time for YouTube? When I'm doing other things. Let me just make sure this is all working. Alright, I think we're good. Yep, and we're going vertical because there's only so much space that I have there. So also today is Sunday, which means it's my cleaning day. So I'll do makeup brushes first and then I'll clean other stuff because when I go and clean the other stuff, I gotta, get in my dog's way and I don't want him to wake up too early. That's gonna go with the recycling stuff. Still got mouth ulcers. Let me put this away for now. Anyway, so usually I think I've done a video previously where I just did a quick clean of my makeup brushes, which I usually use BRLS. And so it just disinfects. It does clean it, but it's not like a deep clean. And I haven't deep cleaned in a while because I haven't worn that much makeup, and it's like I've got to wear enough makeup to justify having to clean them. Now my friend got me this thing, because usually I just do it on I've got a bit of bar soap. It's Lush. It smells like rose. So nice. I got Lush, like you can use regular bar soap. It doesn't have to be anything this fancy. But that specific brand was recommended to me by a makeup artist when I was starting to get into things, and it seems to do the job pretty well. Yeah, and usually I'd use that, do it in my hand under the tap, but I'm going to see how this goes and whether that helps. Like it's got some grooves in it, which I hope will help. And yeah, I had an event where I did like full face makeup for the first time in a while, so I'm just going to clean up some bits of hair and stuff before we get started. Yeah, no, I did a full face of makeup and I thought it's probably about time that I cleaned everything properly. Because, I don't like the idea of putting a dirty makeup brush on my face. That's why I always do the alcohol clean. But yeah, it needs a deep clean every now and then. Oh, and I'm going to put this towel down on just on the toilet behind me because it's like with paintbrushes, right? You don't want to stand your makeup brush up like that to dry because all the water goes down into it and it can like mess up how the hairs are stuck in there. Yeah, so you want to lay them flat. I just have a little towel, chuck them on like that to dry. Okay, so let me just open this. I'm gonna chuck the stuff in the bins in the other room. Excuse me, I'll be back in a moment. Alrighty. Ooh. This is not what I was expecting. It's like really wiggly. And it looks like it's got a suction cup, so I could stick it to something, which it's not really what I need. I could stick it in my sink. I don't know. Anyway, we'll see how that goes. So I hate this long hair. Let me just do something about that. I've got short hair up the back. Because I hate humidity, but my guitarist wants me to grow the front out for the image. Anyway, okay. So these are the ones that I used for the full face of makeup the other day. And they're the ones that are most urgently needing a clean. And then, oh, hey, hello, from Brazil, Zinho. Yay, good to know the chat's working, because sometimes it doesn't work. Oh my god, the thing's gotten stuck to my sink. Is there a way that I can... No, I'm just going to hold it. Okay, so the dirtiest brush would be the foundation brush. Need to get a bit of water on it. And so, yeah, you don't want the water to get into that. I'll just get this started. I'll get water on that. All right, let's get going. So, hello. I can't read I think it's like Russian or looks like Russian characters. Portuguese. I don't speak Portuguese, sorry, only English. Hey, Bagul. You look familiar. Hello. We're doing makeup brush washing, which is, Anyway, so I'm just like swirling it on the soap. And yeah, the soap gets a bit dirty, but you know, it's soap, it'll get clean again. So I just get a bunch of it on there. And then we'll see how we go. Like usually I would do this. And so I'm pointing it down when I put it under the sink. Sorry, I know the tap's not in view, but do you guys really, sorry, is anyone really that keen to know exactly how, oh, it is getting, yeah, it looks like it's doing a decent job. So yeah, to try and stop the water from getting into the brush, I'm angling it down. But there is like, see, there's a bunch of stuff there. Xavier? Oh, okay. Oh, you're translating the letters for me. Hey. Yeah. No, I'm only English. Although I know a little bit of Japanese, because like I am half Japanese. But not a lot, because my mum is just not good with teaching. I think I'm going to have to like get in there with my fingers to get that. It's been a few days because like I was so tired after, like I had a wedding to go to, and then the day after the wedding there was also like a post-wedding barbecue thing, so I didn't get on to, and then I was super tired yesterday, I didn't sleep well, so I didn't get on to cleaning these as fast as I should have. Yeah, that gadget's not going to do enough of a good job. I need to actually get in there. There we go, that's starting to come out, and then I can do a good one. Yes, I think that's a combination. Got to use me fingies. And then I can use this. I think though this brush is just like so dense. Anyway, so that's what's been happening with me. I don't know about why heaps of people are subscribing after my UHD. I don't know how many of you come from that, but my UHD player video. I'm not sure if like that was like 60 or 70 subscribers from that one video, and I just, do those people realize that that's not my usual content? Did they look at the rest of my channel before they hit subscribe? I don't understand. I don't understand YouTube. And like that first video, the one that's really popular, it's not even like professionally done or anything, so I don't really understand what's going on there. Oh dear. Yeah, note to self, don't leave it this long to clean my brushes. I feel like it's just a lot harder. Yeah, the other thing is you don't want to put your brushes face down in something to dry either, because you'll muck up the shape. Yeah, I just gotta check sometimes, because sometimes the chat, yeah, stops working and I don't know why. So if there are any chat messages that don't come through, that's YouTube's fault, not mine. Oh. There we go. I don't know, I feel like using my hands makes more sense to me, but I don't know. Maybe that'll work better for a different sort of brush. Oh, no, it's still working. When I come to Brazil. Oh, okay. Yeah, like I'm in Australia, not Brazil. I've never been to Brazil. I mean, we have beaches here, but I'm not really a beach person. I'm more of a goth type. So, yeah, the barbecue thing was at a beach. It was sort of like at a beach club, so we didn't actually go on the beach, but I had my sun umbrella ready. I think that's looking pretty clean. I had my sun umbrella ready, and to get there from the car, yeah, that's what I did. Made myself look super moody. Alright, I think that one's good enough. Next up, ooh, this one looks pretty bad. Let's get this one going. A little bit of soapy on him. I think this one I can probably just put straight on there, because it is shorter. I don't know. That's the thing, it didn't really come with instructions on how to use that gadget, so I'm still inclined to use my fingies. And then I can make sure I'm getting through each bristle. I can just maybe go like that. Yeah. I don't know, like I could shut up and we could just make this an ASMR type thing, but You know, you can ask me questions that aren't to do with makeup. I'm not actually like a makeup person. Just sort of been getting into makeup mostly because, you know, I am in a band, or at least something resembling a band. It hasn't really been doing anything. Eventually it'll be a band, and the whole idea of me learning makeup originally was so that I could do my own makeup, because I've done photo shoots and people don't really like the makeup artist didn't really understand the goth look that I wanted. So she made me look pretty, but she didn't make me look goth. Only understand a little English. Oh, that's fine, yeah. You know, unfortunately, I think YouTube is trying to get more translation stuff going on, but yeah, I don't know how effective it is. Probably doesn't work so well live. And I don't know, maybe I'm probably not a big enough YouTuber for them to give a crap about my channel in terms of translating things. I don't know. I don't really know how it works. Like, they were gonna do some AI thing where it would like make my voice, my own voice, sound like it's speaking other languages. That's kind of creepy, but you know, kind of cool if you do want to be you know, expand your audience or whatever. But I'm not even a real YouTuber, so I'm not a real makeup person, and I'm not a real YouTuber. I just make whatever I want to make, and I don't really care if it's successful or high quality. It just makes me feel, like in this case, makes me feel a bit more productive that I'm making YouTube content at the same time as doing this tedious task of deep cleaning these brushes. Yeah, so this one is the blush brush. I got the Mecha Max set a couple years ago when I first started. Or less than, maybe just over a year. I know, I'm sorry, the lighting keeps changing. It's not the best setup. Does that look clean? Maybe I'll just get a little bit more on there. I'm not really sure. Cleaner than it was a moment ago. Anyway. Oh, hello. Subtitles with an auto-translate wouldn't do bad. Yeah. But like, you know, not even subtitles. Like, they were gonna get an AI voice to overdub, apparently. I think that'll be really interesting once they've actually rolled it out properly. What's next? We got a powder brush. So like, you know, they're working on those things. Oh, my tap was complaining a bit just then. They're working on those things. I think they favor the American market, obviously. Because there still is a bunch of stuff that we don't have access to in Australia as far as YouTube goes, and we're an English-speaking country, so it'll take even longer for them to get it to other places. This is a nice soft brush. I'm gonna take you to eat cheese bread. I don't know how to pronounce that last one. Yeah, I mean, see, I don't travel, so I also don't go on dates or anything, before you get the wrong idea. Oh, yeah, no, I think this brush, because it's a longer brush, it needs to be thingies. Yeah, I don't go on dates. I mean, you know, I used to just tell people I was asexual, but it turns out I also have pretty severe mental illness that makes me asexual. So I have schizoid personality disorder. It means I, like, long story short, don't care about other people. And I also don't feel normal human emotions or anything. I can make it look like I do, and, you know, I've gotten better at appearing social. But, yeah, I'm just happy on my own, really. So, you know, like COVID, when we all had to stay home, I was fine with that. That was, good times. Everyone had to do the same thing I do, except everyone else was complaining, and I was like, no, this is good. I like this. The only trouble is, like, of course, lockdown ended, and then I have to learn how to be out in society again, and I was like, now I'm out of practice. So that was, you know, ultimately not a good thing, because it took me a long time to get back into just being out in the world again, and I've really only done it because of this new dog. Got a whole playlist for him. On my channel, if you would rather watch dog instead of me cleaning these things. I'm just, Oh, okay, no, it's just moisture that makes me think. Yeah, just checking. Okay, the other one that's super dirty is the angled liner brush. I use it to move around eyeshadow. I think this one might work with the cleany thingy, so let me just get some soap on it. I'm making that so dirty. Oh my goodness, a chunk of eyeliner. I'm just gonna have that. Yeah. So, and you know, most people with schizoid personality disorder don't bother trying to change because it's part of the disorder, I guess, that you don't think that you need to change. But the thing is, I've also got depression, and yeah, I'm not going to overcome depression if I just do the same thing all the time. So I figure logically, I should try and make an effort to change some of the schizoidy stuff, or I don't know, find better ways to cope. And then, like, I didn't get diagnosed for ages, so I thought it was just depression, and I thought it was on me to change a lot of stuff, and didn't, like, I thought it would eventually happen, whereas the personality disorder suggests that maybe that's not the case. Maybe I'll just always be like this, but I do need to change things about my life if I want any hope of recovering. So, you know, I think some people, when they get diagnosed, they lean into it too much, and so life never gets better. And, you know, I could just be like, okay, I've got schizoid personality disorder. Why don't I just, you know, be super unsocial because that's what my disorder is? But no, if I do that, okay, this one doesn't need cleaning because I never use it. If I do that, like, life will just stay shit. So I have to keep trying different things. And I think I'm doing better at the moment. Is, you know, this new dog has gotten me out and about, and, well, I'm enjoying the art more, I guess. But that's a very solitary thing for me. From Fortaleza, city that has one of the most beautiful beaches in Brazil. Okay. I'm a schizoid. I don't consider it a disorder. I consider it as a social filter. Yeah, see, that's what I mean. You're kind of being the example of what I mean about most schizoids not wanting to change. If you don't have depression, though, you know, you do. I do have depression, though, and doing the same thing clearly hasn't worked. So that's why, you know, I figure I'll put some effort into trying to work through my disorder, or at least find ways to exist in the world that are better than just doing the same thing. Of course, depression does change, I suppose, what you do, even as a schizoid. Don't want to change. No, like, if you're fine, if you're happy with your life, you don't need to. The thing is, I'm not happy with my life. I'm not saying you have to do the same shit as me. Like, you do you. But yeah, the comorbidity is what sucks. And yeah, so I've tried going to more events, but I have to pace things in terms of what events I go to and how often, because I just don't have the energy for it. And I've also realized I need to have more positive experiences with people so that I just don't hate people constantly. So, yeah, started going into some more high-end shops. You know, because I used to just buy the cheapest shampoos and stuff, and then I'm like, I hate showering. But now that I'm buying nicer stuff that smells nice, showering isn't as horrible as it used to be. And also the service you get. And some of these people, like, instead of going to the cheapest place where they treat you like shit, you go somewhere where they treat you nice. And I think because my disorder has a lot to do with childhood trauma, not trusting people or something, I don't know. Just having a low opinion of people, I need to find more nice people to challenge that assumption. Interesting, I don't have depression as a schizoid. I do get frustrated when I have to deal with people. Yeah, see, that's a different problem to what I've got. Still doing music and band stuff. Yeah, so I did release a new solo track a couple months ago. If you go onto my Bandcamp, there should be links on my channel. Otherwise, Destroy America. I know YouTube will think I'm saying Destroy America. No, I'm saying Destroyer Mariko, like my username. .bandcamp.com. You'll find my track. As for my band, I'm still waiting for them to tell me that they're ready to go. Like, so I'm the vocalist. My part's written. I mean, there is one thing I need to rewrite, but I can just sing the old version until that's ready. I'm waiting for everyone to learn the instruments, and then we'll see if the band actually happens. I don't know. It was meant to happen last year in 2024, and the whole year, nothing. I'm pretty sure we finished writing at the end of 2023. Yeah. If we don't get going by then, if we don't get going by summer, the next summer, it's summer now, but if we don't get going by the next summer, I'm shaving my hair off again. I just can't with the humidity. What's this one? Do I use this one? Highlight and hitter. I don't know that I use this brush, so I won't bother cleaning that one. Soft shadow, I'm sure I have attempted to use that brush. So yeah, music stuff, like at the moment it's my solo stuff. I should try and do more vocal covers. It's just like, I've been so exhausted. You know, my mental health really fell off a cliff for a while there. I'm doing better now, but yeah, a year ago, I was not in a good way. And then now, you know, I've got the puppy, which takes up a lot of time. Oh no, yeah, that's really tough. I gotta say, if I didn't get the new puppy, I might not be here right now. I tried to live without a puppy, and nope, I need a dog in my life to justify staying here because humans don't do it for me. Like, I know the impact that it has on people, and so like I tried, but yeah, I was doing really badly this time last year. I think, like, you know, I was trying to get into the makeup stuff and trying so hard to be interested enough, but yeah, I wouldn't have made it if I didn't get the new puppy. You know, before that, my soul dog, Hope, which is what's in this necklace, some bit of his ashes, he was the one keeping me alive. And when we had to say goodbye to him, it was so tempting to just give up and follow him. But, you know, yeah, eventually I realized I just needed to get a new puppy. So here's called Depression in UK, the Black Dog. Yeah, we've got, there's an organization called Black Dog, I think, at least in Australia. I guess if it comes to your door, you know about it. Yeah, I mean, heavy stuff for a makeup live stream. I love the chaos though. This isn't 4K Blu-ray related. I'm glad someone brought that up. That whole thing, okay, the last I checked, that video had 4K views, like 4,000 views, which is kind of hilarious. And I don't even know how many likes, and 60 or 70 people subscribed. And I'm like, do people not have a look at what the rest of my channel is like? Because I can tell from the statistics, most people are wanting to watch the parts that actually have that 4K player. They're kind of skipping the parts where I'm tinkering with my computer. And like, that's why I put the bookmarks in, because I knew people wouldn't want to watch everything. God, this is such a waste of time brush. Yeah. So most people are watching the parts that are actually about the player, but then they subscribe, and I don't know, there's nothing about that video that even suggested it was the sort of content I usually do. Oh, I finished. Oh no, there's more brushes. There's these little it's gonna be a little bit hard to clean. Do I even usually deep clean these? I don't know, but I'll do it anyway. I'm just gonna be really gentle because the spongy bit's gonna come off. It's okay because they're cheap and I'll just buy more. And I do have to throw them out every now and then, but I should probably clean the other ones as well. God, there's always more to do. But yeah, no, there's nothing about that video that suggested that's the usual content that I do. It's like a one-off unboxing, and then people subscribed. And I know some people did subscribe for the chaos, but I feel like there's going to be a lot of people who will just be disappointed if they want more tech stuff. Like when I got the Alienware computer, that happened as well, and people subscribed. Like I think that's what got my channel remonetized. Under the new requirements, and it was, I don't know, like I did make a few Alienware videos, but my channel is not about tech. It's not even really about makeup. It's not about anything in particular. It's just me and whatever I'm up to this time. Yeah, the whole situation's just bizarre. I don't understand, because like I subscribe to stuff kind of briefly. I know I'm not super loyal which I guess tracks with the whole schizoid thing. I'm just gonna clean this out. Woo! Nothing's broken. It's fine. We're good. Yeah, I'm not super loyal to any channels. I think the main things I subscribe to are friends' accounts, and then they never post anything. But if they do post something, I'll know. Oh yeah, bye. Yeah, if you need to go, that's cool. I'm not offended. I'm honestly surprised anytime anyone watches me. Because I'm just here making stuff, causing chaos. Some of the motivation is to keep my videos of my pets. It's nice to have like a sort of backup, and it just so happens that I share that backup live, I guess. You know, because I'm not a huge fan of the cloud, so I might as well just have it on YouTube, and then if I need to find the video of an old pet again, it's on YouTube. There was a period, so like I used to YouTube a lot, you know, 15 years ago or so, and then I deleted a bunch of videos, which is a shame. I wish I hadn't now, because, but anyway, the ones that I didn't delete were the ones that had pets in them. Because I'm like, you know, just in case, I'm not going to delete any that have pets. It's more like the videos about vampire culture that disappeared, and other like weird shit I was going through at the time. Okay, I think we've cleaned everything now. So I'm not really sure about this gadget. I don't feel like this gadget was really necessary to clean my brushes. And now what do I do with it? I can just like stick it to something. Let's stick under here. Oh, he does! I might just leave that there. That's kind of funny. I'll just move it over a bit. Okay, cool. Then I don't have to find extra storage space for it, because it's not like I have a lot of space. Oh no, there is one more thing. I got a powder puff. Is there any other things? Yeah, no, I do have some other brushes, but I haven't actually opened them yet. That's a sign that I shouldn't really be doing the makeup stuff, because I bought a bunch of stuff that I never used. So I don't really know how to clean this. I suppose I could just chuck it in the wash in like one of those delicate bags. But I'll just use soap. It'll be fine, right? If it dies, I'll just buy another one. They're not too expensive, these things. I think they're not even meant to last that long. There was someone, so I'm in the Mecca Facebook group. It's a Mecca Max one. I'm in the Mecca Facebook group. And apparently there was like one chick who thought they were disposable and was throwing them out after, like, instead of cleaning them. I'm like, really? That's like, apparently, I don't know who it was, but someone met someone who thought that bonsai were basically like flowers you get from the florist, where they're not meant to live and they're meant to die off. And I'm just like, oh no, that's so depressing. That is not, like, you know, we put so many years of work into every bonsai. I used to work at a bonsai nursery. We put so much years of work into it just to have someone go and let it die? Are you kidding? What? Oh my god. Okay. I'll just let that to dry with the rest of them. Okay, have I finally finished all that? I've kept the little things so that I can put it away. Let me just dry that off because it got a little bit soggy. Alright, so where do I put that? I'll just pop that. I don't know! Put it in between there. Okay, let me show you the result. We've got our brushes. They're all just laying there. And then when they're dried off, that's when I will stand them back up in the cups. So those came with most of the brushes that came in a set. It's pretty cool. They did another one for 2024, similar. Might have been something extra in it, I'm not sure. Anyway, I do need to clean a few more things in here. And also feel free to distract me with other questions. So I'm gonna put these back in here just so I have some space. Oh, I need to clean up in here as well. I can't really get the cleaning stuff because I'll wake up my dog. What time is it? It's 10:52 here in Sydney. I put him in his crate just before 10, so he's only been in there for an hour. And I won't let him out straight away because I got to do some more cleaning. Ah! Nothing is broken. Nothing is broken, okay? I'm not causing that much chaos. Okay, it's fine. You trust me, right? Never mind that Destroyer is in my username. I'm not breaking anything. Anyway, so yeah, every Sunday I clean. I've figured out that's the only way that I can, like, some people who've been on my channel the longest will have seen the state of things, the state that I used to live in, and yeah, so I have to clean every Sunday. If I'm doing something on a Sunday, I'll push it one day before or after, but yeah, that's the only way to not live in a total state of, yeah. Any idea what your next YouTube upload will be about? Not 4K. Probably a mental health thing. I do have an idea because, you know, I've just been to a Catholic wedding because, yeah, I grew up Catholic, and made me think about some stuff to do with, yeah, the mental illness, the childhood trauma, blah, blah, blah. And that'll be a fun one to... I mean, it's either that or I film ants wandering around for like an hour. Or, I don't know, what else can I do to throw off the 4K people just to screw with them? I like screwing with people on my channel. So also, pro tip, if you're watching one of my videos, maybe check the volume, because occasionally I will intentionally make the volume low just so that I can put in a jump scare at the end. I know there's a handful of viewers who will watch right to the end, and yeah, it's fun to make their ears bleed sometimes. So just be careful of that, but a lot of the time I can't be bothered. So that keeps you guessing, because you never know when I'm going to do some shenanigans. Just going to clean my hairbrushes. There's a lot of hair in here. Yeah, but, you know, so today is sort of like makeup cleaning, live stream, whenever I have time, maybe a mental health thing, but I may get distracted. Like if my dog does something cute, I usually upload them pretty fast. Oh, and there are a couple of dog videos that, so there's one from my soul dog, this one, and then I'm going to post one of my current dog. Sort of, they're both doing the same kind of thing, but like how they react is quite different. I could do it as one video, I suppose. God, hairbrushes get so gross. And, you know, like I never used to pay attention to this stuff, but they actually do. Okay, let me just put them away. So yeah, like I don't know what kinds of videos I'm about to make. You know, like I watch the advice about how to be a good YouTuber, and then I tend to just ignore it. Because I can't help myself, right? And they say to have a niche, and I'm just not the sort of person who will ever have a niche, unless you consider the niche to be myself. So, yeah, I don't know what kind of video I'm going to make. It just depends what happens. I've got to put a few things away, get these out of the way so I can clean things up. I started trying to use sun cream. I used too much, though. So I can't tell you if it's better than the other sun cream. And, you know, I don't like the feeling of hair sticking to my face. And, yeah, I use too much. I don't even go in the sun that much. Like, just in the morning when I'm walking my dog. And then the rest of the time, I'm just going to stay indoors. I cannot. I am not an outdoorsy person. Can you take your head? Oh, yeah, no, so I just put it up while I was cleaning my brushes because, like, you know, it was, but yeah, it's, I think because my face feels kind of gross from the sun cream, it's, like, annoying. But yeah, so you can see, you know, the front is long and then the back is pretty much, like, not exactly shaved. They did put texture in it. It's like I'd like to speak to the manager, but death growl. You know, like extreme, like, I want to speak to the manager kind of levels of, because it's just like, yeah. But yeah, so I'm growing the front, I mentioned, for the band, because my guitarist, I mean, it does frame my face better, but I hate humidity, and also it's kind of annoying, like, to stop it from feeling weird on the sun cream, I have to put it up. Oh, how old am I? Do you want to play the guessing game? I don't know. I think there's a way that I can set up a poll, but I haven't really done. Oh, there is a poll thing, but I mean, how old do you think I am? That's always fun. I have mentioned it, so if you already know, don't give it away. But I'll give you guys a moment to have some guesses while I put away some stuff. I'm going to put this in here as well. So chuck in the chat how old you think I am. I will be right back. I'm just going to put this on my desk in the other room. Mad Simple is here! Oh dear. Oh man. None of you are game to guess how old I am, really? I won't be offended, okay? I have schizoid personality disorder. One of the features is, you know, not appearing to be affected by praise and criticism. So you can't really hurt my feelings with that. Whoa! Stream Elements bot is here. Thanks for subscribing, Paul Williams. Thank you. I wouldn't have known if Stream Elements bot hadn't turned up. Thought mid-20s or late 20s, I can't tell, 26. Does anyone else want to have a guess at my age? Especially knowing that I won't be offended. I don't know, I think it's kind of interesting that in society people are offended usually by being told they look older than they are. Then again, I don't know, maybe I need to look older to feel offended. I don't really know. It's interesting though, because, you know, in a lot of cultures, the elders are held up and they hold the wisdom and so on. But in modern culture, it seems to be youth that is more valued, even though young people can be quite out of their minds, crazy with like silly decisions and so on. I don't know. I'll give you another minute while I just clean off this soap because it does look a bit... It smells good though. There you go. Oh, where am I going to put that while and also clean out the gunk on this? It's been a while. No one else's game? Right. I'll give you like 10 seconds and then I will reveal my age. So I guess you're all too nervous, or... I don't know, I don't like playing guessing games. I don't like gambling. I don't like being wrong, I guess. Something like that. I know, I'm terrible. I did make a video about me being competitive. Me being competitive is not a good look. Anyway, has that been 10 seconds? It has. Okay. I'm 36. You're off by 10 years. But 26 is better than some people still seem to think that I'm in high school, and I'm like, how? I don't look like a high school kid, surely. I know I'm a little bit skinny maybe, or hey, my merch is here. Stream Elements bot finally decided to chime in, hey? Yeah, no, I have a bit of merch that goes along with my music. And also this one, my channel. Yeah, I'm wearing one of my shirts today. Yeah, no, people think I'm a lot younger than I am. I think some of it is like, you know, a lot of young girls seem kind of skinny, but I'm not that skinny. Like, I've been paying more attention, and no, they definitely look smaller, like just overall smaller, because they're not really done growing. So it can't be that. I think I am half Asian, which throws off a few people. Because, you know, like, I mean, I have this theory that, what the heck, yeah. I have this theory that, like, you know, you go to Japan, which is where my mum's from, and you kind of only see either really young people or really old people. So I told mum that, you know, being Japanese, you look young until you're around 60, and then suddenly you will shrink really fast and get wrinkly and all that. And it's actually kind of funny because that's kind of, she's finally reached that stage of aging. And she didn't believe me, and I'm like, you know what? She's gotten really skinny. She's falling asleep in front of Netflix. Yeah, she's reached that stage. There we go. Whoops. Anyway, yeah, no. So I think also with the being half Asian, the thing is I look white, And I think that throws people off, because if you know someone's Asian, you can be like, the age, the way Asians seem to age does seem different. But if I look white, but I'm aging in an Asian way, it's going to throw off people. The other thing is, I don't spend a lot of time in the sun. And we know, that's why I've got the sun cream, because I did finally go and get a facial a few months ago, and she's like, you should be wearing sun cream. I mean, that's how people get wrinkles and so on. And I'm like, if I don't go in the sun, then my skin hasn't aged in the same way as other people's, which probably throws people off. I live in Australia, so when I was really young, we used to go to the beach, and I did get really badly sunburned on my back once. And it was peeling for a week, and I had to sleep on my stomach, and yeah, that really put me off going into the sun. And then staying indoors, and then being depressed and being into dark things like vampires and stuff. So I was like, just to become nocturnal for a bit. You don't look 36, skinny face, how you dress, it's a combination. Yeah, I probably also don't act like a proper adult, because I don't have my life together. I'm unemployed now, and even the government has decided I'm too mentally ill to really function as a normal human being sprout. Which is hard to accept, because the government is like the most resistant to, especially on the mental health grounds, saying that like you're that messed up. And I'm like, okay, because there are some things that I didn't think were a problem, but apparently they are, and I guess that explains why I don't function in society. But I can appear to be like I'm doing better than I actually am. I don't know why, because it's not something that I'm doing on purpose. But yeah, there's a lot that you don't see on YouTube. I mean, there is a video of me having a full breakdown one day, because like I had tried everything else, and I thought, well, if I film it, did I live stream it or did I just film it? I don't even remember. But I thought, if I film it and then I have to concentrate on talking to the camera, maybe that'll take my mind off it. But it took a really long time. And eventually I think it did help settle me down, that I was having such a bad night. But yeah, so I do have a lot of times where I just am not a functional person. What mental health issues? So I have schizoid personality disorder. As I mentioned earlier, I might not have been on the stream at that point. I have schizoid personality disorder. I have a video, like the first video I made about it explains it, and then I've got a lot of other videos since then, some which are more just vlogs of me discovering the whole thing. Other ones addressing specific issues, like what's the difference between being schizoid, being introverted, being autistic, and avoidant personality disorder, like what's the difference? So schizoid personality disorder would be the fundamental one. And then I also have depression, and the interaction between depression and schizoid makes it very hard to treat, because, it took me a long time to get diagnosed with schizoid, so they did try and treat me in the normal way that you would treat depression, which didn't work. And I didn't know for ages why it wasn't working. But so one of the biggest differences I've noticed between, regular depression and schizoid depression is most people who are depressed, they feel down on themselves, whereas schizoids who are depressed tend to feel down on the world. And, when you're down on yourself, you can change things either about your perceptions of yourself, or you can go out there, learn new things, work on yourself, whatever. Cool. But if you're down on the world, there's nothing I can do to change most of what the world's like. So yeah, I'm finally seeing a decent psychologist, but even she doesn't really know what to do. And there isn't a lot of good literature on, sorry, I'm just seeing more stuff that I need to clean, because I am meant to be cleaning in this video. There's not a lot of good literature on how to treat schizoids. And then, it's not just as simple as having schizoid personality disorder, because there's all the comorbidities that you can have. That complicates things. So I'm probably the first schizoid that my psychologist has tried to treat. The other thing is schizoids generally don't come forward for treatment. If you saw in the chat there was someone who's also schizoid and said they don't feel like they need to change. That's very common with schizoid. And it's only really if you have another issue, comorbid like depression, that schizoids will come forward for treatment, because the schizoid part doesn't bother me. Honestly, doesn't bother me. It's the depression part that bothers me. So yeah, tricky stuff. And schizoid can be comorbid with other stuff. It's also, I mean, I tend to think like there's a lot of diagnosis of autism at the moment, and people thought I had it for a while. But I think because personality disorders aren't really that well known in society at the moment, I think people are squeamish about the idea of having a personality disorder because they think, oh, the personality is myself. They're criticizing how I am. And like, on the one hand, yes, kind of, but it's also recognizing that there's a deeper issue that you have that complicates things. Anyway, I mean, I think the reason a lot of schizoids are okay with being told they have a personality disorder, because one of the features of schizoid personality disorder is you don't care about praise or criticism. So if someone's criticizing your personality, you don't give a shit. It just helps you have an explanation. Like, okay, I've got a personality disorder, that's fine. So it's probably the one personality disorder where people aren't sensitive about it. Yeah. Anyway, because personality disorders, it's not a romantic condition to have. It's not fashionable, and it is, there is stigma, I guess, and I think there's a possibility that some people who think they have autism might actually have schizoid and just not know it, might be being misdiagnosed. It's possible, I don't know. Like, you know, they'll do studies one day, maybe, but schizoid is also being, a lot of personality disorders are being erased. It's still in the DSM, but the ICD-11, they've just put all personality disorders into one category, and then you get these extra little specifiers. So you don't have named personality disorders, you just have personality disorder with such and such features, which I find like it's maybe better for a clinician to understand what's going on, but it sucks as a patient because it doesn't explain to you what do you have. You have personality disorder with all these extra little asterisks. Oh my god, that's too much. The only one that gets its own tag is borderline under ICD. Borderline is basically the opposite of schizoid. To simplify, borderlines feel too much in two extreme ways, whereas schizoids feel too little and very numb. Hello, David Andrew. Yeah. So borderlines, because they feel too much, they're very dramatic, they cause a lot of trouble, they get into a lot of trouble. So that's much more well studied, much more interesting to regular society, whereas schizoid's very boring. Schizoids keep to themselves, don't cause trouble, so, you know, and they don't think they have a problem. So yeah, borderline is the one that gets all the attention, and the rest are kind of being erased or put into an amorphous lump. Anyway, just went on a bit of a rant there. Wow. So for those of you who don't know me, if you distract me, I will just ramble away and forget what I was supposed to be doing, which is cleaning my bathroom. Anyway, yeah, no, so schizoid, see, that's the thing, is I don't feel like I have a problem, so it took me a while to like get diagnosed with that properly, and then I still find it surprising that society considers what I have to be so debilitating. But then again, if you look at my life, 36 years old, what have I done with my life? I've sort of meandered. How many degrees have I dropped out of? I did eventually complete some degrees, but it didn't get me anywhere. I've worked a bit, but there was a point where I just stopped being able to work, which is a shame, because my last job was at a bonsai nursery, and you would think bonsai, you know, you spend most of your time just making trees. I didn't have to do much with customers, although I did start teaching, but that wasn't, like, you know, it wasn't that hard. And my boss was, you know, understanding, and he's also a metal guy, he's also half Japanese, yeah, easy to get along with. But there was just a point where I wasn't able to get up on time, I would feel horrible, and then, you know, I got no muscles, so, you know, trying to repot these trees, they seem small, it doesn't seem like a lot, but when you're doing it repetitively, you know, the next day I would be dead. Like I was only working 1 day a week, and the day after, and sometimes 2 days after, I could just not function. And then doing the less physical work where you're just pruning, my eyesight is kind of crap as well. I can see to about, like it's starting to get a bit dodgy around there. So that's like right where I was working on stuff. So with my glasses, it feels like too much, but without glasses, it's sort of just getting out of range. And then having to focus for so long. I am getting older, so my eyes are taking longer to adjust in different focus lengths. And so I would get really bad headaches, and the next day would still have those bad headaches, even doing the less physical work. And then I also just had a really bad mental breakdown, the depression stuff mainly. And I just found that I couldn't go to work, and I wouldn't really know until the day. The day before, my boss would be like, "Oh, you're coming in tomorrow?" And I'm like, "Yeah." And then the next morning I would wake up and just not be in a state to function. And I just, like, I can't do that. I can't be that unreliable. Like, I would have to call my boss and be like, I can't come in. So yeah, it kind of just got to a point where I couldn't work. And that was a good job. Like, I was a bonsai. I was being paid to do bonsai. And I don't know, I just stopped being able to do it, and that's probably the coolest job I had. And I just haven't gotten myself back to a state where I can do a job. Is any of the stuff you mentioned you have passed you genetically? It's mainly, I mean, there might be, because my mum's not a very social person, but she's plenty functional. Whereas dad is more, yes, stereotypical white boomer Catholic dad kind of Aussie bloke. Yeah, so I think it's actually more childhood trauma type stuff. So I do have videos on my channel talking about, I think there's one in particular that talks about how trauma affected me in terms of schizoid, and I also have a bit of dissociation. It's fairly mild, but I think it's related to that as well. There is a video I want to make about schizoid dissociation, because a few people have mentioned similar things, and then I came across an interesting theory. Because I did get assessed for DID, dissociative identity disorder, which used to be called multiple personality disorder or split personality shit. And they thought that I might have it. And I'm like, are you kidding? I have told you that I don't lose my memory. That should disqualify me immediately. There is a milder form called OSDD. What is it? Other specified dissociative disorder. There is a variant of it that is like a milder version of DID. In the ICD, they call it partial DID. At most, you could maybe label me with that, but I'm not convinced. I mean, and there's still debate over how legit is that whole field of diagnosis. Anyway, never mind. Yeah, anyway, so trauma, mainly. And probably some personality traits that might have been genetic, that might have predisposed me. Because, a lot of people go through trauma. And yes, the type of trauma is important, but also what kind of person you are underneath that can affect which way the trauma is going to go. A bit like, when you've got your little Digimon or your Tamagotchi. Is anyone old enough for that? And depending on how you treat them and what stage of life they're at, they could go one way or the other in terms of what they evolve into, right? Is Digimon and Pokemon still, not Pokemon, Digimon and Tamagotchi still a thing? I thought they brought them back, but I don't know. Kids probably have more access to interesting stuff nowadays, right? I'm gonna put some stuff in the recycle. What time is it? I still don't want to disturb my dog. Although we are getting sort of close to that time where I can, I'll just put these in my regular, there we go. I'll just put these in the regular, I've got my own little recycling box here. And then I've got a whole hand. I usually only use 4 a week, but, for some weeks it's more. I'm just going to go and get some more toilet rolls. I will be right back. Feel free to chuck some questions in the chat, and I'll get onto them when I get back. You guys are distracting me so much. Oh, my God. open a new bag. Oh, no questions. Gosh, you're a shy lot. Is there anything specifically that you guys are watching me for? Because I'm done with the makeup brush thing. Yeah. Let me just test this. Oh gosh. Is any of this dry yet? I'm just gonna turn over the makeup brushes. So I'm gonna dry on the other side. Some of them might take a while. Dear, oh dear. Okay. Yeah, no, some of them are quite soggy. I'm gonna have to move them at some point. Okay. Let me just check. Yeah, no, I think the chat is working. So it's just that you guys are kind of shy. That's okay, that's fine. I get it. The internet's a strange place. Maybe you don't want to say anything. In that case, I will just keep cleaning. Oh, hello, Mad Simple. What are my Australia Day plans? Shit, what day is Australia Day? That's later this month, isn't it? I don't do anything for Australia Day. Because, like, especially, like, you know, not working, I don't take, like, it's not a public holiday for me. Because it's just like every day, and the annoying thing about public holidays is it means everyone else is in my space. Eat a kangaroo. You can get kangaroo from the supermarket in Australia. Kangaroo is actually a pest in some places because like there's a lot of them and too many of them, and if we let them just roam and eat all the grass and whatever, then they end up starving. We can't have that, so it's better to just cull them. And you know, that's why California getting upset about making shoes out of kangaroo leather is ridiculous, because they get a wild, you know, life out in the wild. You know, they get shot. Yes, okay, that's sad, but it's quick. They don't have to go to a slaughterhouse. And then, yeah, use the leather, put the rest in the supermarket. Kangaroo is actually very healthy meat because it's wild meat. And then there's, you know, Triton's got a lot of dog products that are made out of kangaroo. It's good stuff. You know, if you come to Australia, come and have some kangaroo. You know, there's not a lot of native animals that you can eat because a lot of them are endangered, protected, whatever. But kangaroo is one that you can have. I've also had crocodile. I had crocodile pizza, but I couldn't really, like, you know, there's so much sauce, I couldn't really taste it. So I can't tell you if it was just kind of chewy. Yeah, so that wasn't really worth it, but it was part of when I did bridge climb, which I did with a disability support. So I didn't give you my whole story. My youngest brother has severe disabilities, like he's physically, like intellectually disabled. So I was in a siblings group, and yeah, the last year that I qualified, they disappeared for ages, and then the last year I qualified, they took us up the bridge, and that's when I got the crocodile pizza afterwards as well. But yeah, a lot of my trauma has to do with having a disabled sibling. There's a thing called glass child trauma, where the parents, they look through you and they can only see the special needs kid. They don't really see you. And then there's an assumption that glass is strong, but actually glass is glass and glass breaks. If you know, you know. Yeah, so, you know, you act strong, but no one can see your own needs, and then you develop, you know. Anyway, I'm pretty sure I've got videos about that as well. Half Japanese, have I ever lived there? Oh, like the longest I've stayed in Japan in living memory is I stayed there for a month because my mental health was really bad, and I just needed to get out of the country, get away from Centrelink because they're horrible. Yeah, and I spent a month in Japan, and it helped a lot. I did think that I had a band to come home to, so there was a bit of optimism as well, but that didn't work out. Yeah, but I wouldn't want to live in Japan. Like, it's nice to visit, but not to live. you know, there's a reason my mum moved out of Japan, because it is a very restrictive society and she's not that kind of a person. Yeah, and they're nice to foreigners if you're white or if you're like from Australia, but they are quite racist if you're another type of Asian, or if, like, you know, for some white people who do go to live there, they can be a bit racist there too. So, you know, it's Japanese culture is like very polite and very clean and very nice to your face. But they'll stab you in the back. Do your glasses scratch at a level 6? Mad simple nose. Hello, Steve. Yeah, I've already cleaned my makeup brushes, so I'm just getting on with my cleaning day. But, you know, of course, I'm distracted as you. I've already done that. What am I doing? I'm gonna put these back and then configure things to get ready for. You know, I got to get all the cleaning products, and at that point, I've got to disturb my dog and then work quickly because he'll be very cross with me. He yells at me when he's cross with me, which is usually when I've been out for a while. Oh, hey, thank you. Thank you for the super chat. How am I? I'm doing okay. I'm really tired because you know, I mentioned in the last like full length video that I had an event, like I had things going on for the next couple of days. That was a Catholic wedding. And then the reception after, and then the day after there was a recovery barbecue, which didn't do anything for me to recover. I didn't sleep well through any of it. I woke up at so the day before the wedding, I was awake too late making that last video. The day of the wedding, you know, I woke up, like, you know, after the wedding, I woke up at like 4:30 and couldn't get back to sleep. And then after the recovery barbecue, I woke up around 5, and then Triton must have heard me and he started howling and he didn't shut up for an hour. And so I was just not functional yesterday. I was in a really bad way. But I did sleep better last night. I was having a dream about hanging with a friend, and I don't know, she turned into a cat. And we were like trying to get to a bus stop. This is just before I woke up. We were trying to get to a bus stop, but we were like climbing a fence and a tree or something, and it was very unstable. And I'm like, maybe we should just go down to the actual bus stop. So I'm doing better today. Yesterday, I was like, being tired is really bad for your mental health. What helped me is I've got a advent calendar for perfumes, and the one yesterday was really nice. Like when I finally, like I forgot about it, but when I finally put it on, I was like, wow, this perfume is actually really good. And that helped. And then I went and did some art. And then I've been burning incense. If you've been following my Instagram stories, burn some incense. I'm getting into that again, and it was really nice. Not sure that it's the healthiest thing for my singing voice, but you know, if my band doesn't get going, do I need to sing? Anyway, that did help. And then, yeah, I slept better last night. I could have kept sleeping, but it was enough to get me functional, and I haven't needed a nap yet today. Yeah, that's how I'm doing. I'm hanging in there, surviving as best I can. Yeah, but I've got to sort of try and piece my life together. What am I even doing with myself? Got those up there. I'm gonna clean a few more things. Yeah, everything just... And then later today, I will have my weekly shower, because that's all I can manage if we're talking about mental illness. I can only, like, showering once a week is actually a huge improvement for me. I used to shower like once a month or once every 2 months. I couldn't even remember when my last shower was. So, talking about weddings, since you're older than I thought, have you been married? No, I haven't been married. I did try dating, and I was in a relationship for a bit. I was on medication most of the time though, so that's probably the only way I managed it. Just one feature of schizoid is not really wanting to be in a relationship, finding it hard to give a shit about other people. I really tried. I put in a lot of effort. Take a shower right now. You wish. Yeah, no, I really tried. I've also tried to go back and do the dating thing again last year. Like I went on some speed dating things. Me speed dating. But just, because like if social issues are part of my disorder, then the logic is, well, if I try and put myself out there, and if I happen to find like the right person to undo the damage that's been done to me, that's worth pursuing. But I went to the speed dating and I'm just like, oh, I did it twice and I'm just like, it's not actually that much better than dating apps because, yeah, okay, you actually met in person, but for 5 minutes you can't really get to know anything. And some of the guys, like I made a video complaining about like the mistakes people make when speed dating, so if you're interested, there's that on my channel. How fast was the speed dating? I mean, it felt like it was kind of slow trying to talk to people. The second one was better because it had food. If you're gonna go speed dating, make sure it's one with food. 5 seconds is better. Oh my gosh. Yeah, oh no, I tried. I really did try. But the other thing about like the relationships I was in, especially the first one, I was dissociating a lot. And I think the only way I was able to do the relationship was because I was dissociating. And the first one, who I call my ex, there was a point where he asked me not to dissociate. And I tried and I wasn't able to feel anything. And then he's like, okay, forget I said that, because he realized that I wasn't able to show any affection at all if I was spending all my energy on trying not to dissociate. There's a lot more about that relationship that I probably will never talk about. But yeah, so that was really the only way that I could be in a relationship, was just to not actually be there properly. Yeah, and I had 3 relationships, and there was always a point where the guy would realize and sort of question me about like the fact that I wasn't actually interested in any of their stuff. They all noticed, and I'm sure I came up with some excuse to make them feel better, but they did notice that I didn't care about their hobbies or anything really. Yeah, I was just good at looking like things were okay, I guess. The first relationship was not helpful though. It was like, if he had been what I thought he was, that could have been really good for me, but he was kind of like manipulative, gaslighting, blah, blah, blah. So that one didn't go well. And then the next 2, I didn't really expect them to last anyway. Like I went into them, especially the third one, I went into not expecting it to last. And I was actually disappointed that every time I had to be the one to dump the other person, I was hoping the other person would dump me first, so I wouldn't have to do it. Do you know of toxoplasmosis? And how do you feel about it being used for anxiety? You mean the cat parasite? Uh-oh, I can hear my dog. I think he knows that I'm out and about. I haven't heard about it being used for anxiety, but I know that it can make rats less scared of cats, so maybe that's what you mean, but I don't think it's that healthy. Guy with the same hobbies and interests. Yeah, no, I see some of them had similar interests. I just don't care. I don't mind if someone cares about me, I just can't show it back. And that's not a good way to do a relationship. Like, conceptually, I know what a relationship is supposed to be like, especially now that I've gone and read a lot about it and realized the things that my ex did that I shouldn't have tolerated. There were so many red flags, but I was also, this first relationship ever. I was dissociating and I wasn't sure how things were meant to go, so I tolerated a lot. But I should have just dumped him at the first red flag. Yeah, anyway, I don't think that's going to solve it. I don't know what would have to happen for a relationship to work for me. Like, the guy would have to be super touchback, and I'm better off just trying to win the lottery. I'm also interested in goth ducks. Yeah, we have a collection of ducks in the other room, but that's my duck. And I think I got it before we started collecting the other ducks. So Yeah, I'm getting distracted now because I can hear my dog, so I probably should. Do you want me to wrap it up now, or do you want me to keep filming but just not pay attention to chat while I go and get the cleaning products and get moving? I do have to get moving though. I can keep filming, or I can just go away. Do you have any opinion on that? So I've really got to stop being distracted and just like finish this cleaning, and I'm gonna have to vacuum as well, which I'm not gonna be able to show you very easily. Wrap it up. Yeah. So I am going to go and do that, but I could just leave the thing filming. Start a poll. Okay, I'll grab some stuff. Let me see if I don't know how this works on the phone. I'm just gonna lift it up so I can type properly. Stop filming. No. What do stop filming and clean, or keep filming cause LMAO? Yeah, let's do it that way. I don't know what I want to do. That's another problem with schizoid personality disorders. I don't particularly want much in life. How do I see the results? I can see this. Oh, there we go. Yeah, I don't particularly want anything in life. I can get interested in things for brief periods, but yeah, I don't get a sense of reward. Like when I achieve something, like when I release my EPs, I've got, my old girl band released an EP that I crashed after that because like it's such a build up, and then I didn't feel any reward from it. And I just feel like there's this huge anticlimax. But yeah, I don't really know what I want in life, which makes it hard to do much of anything. Yeah, and anhedonia, like not being able to feel anything good, is a big problem for schizoids, and then throw in the depression. And so I don't really know what I want a lot of the time. And I have to come up with these intellectualizations to decide, or do polls. And you guys have had a minute. There's 10 of you watching, unless YouTube is confused. Keep filming because it's interesting hearing other schizoids' experiences. Yeah, but I'm not going to be able to talk so much. So I'm going to be cleaning. It's just whether I keep filming or whether I turn it off. It looks like you guys want me to just keep filming, which is fine. I can do that. Just be aware that I'm not going to chat so much. It's just going to be me doing a bunch of stuff and probably moving the phone out of the way. So I'm going to end the poll. I'll go do that. I got to get some cleaning stuff, and my dog will probably be upset seeing me. Keep filming. All right. So if you were here for just chatting, I'm not offended if you go off. Yeah. Ever make a music video for one of your songs? Oh yeah, I did a collab with Klawu. It's on my channel. There's a music video and then a lyric video version. I haven't done any for my own songs, but that's the closest. I gotta get cleaning. So yeah, thanks for hanging with me. If you were here for the actual like chat portion, which wasn't actually meant to happen, but it's me, so of course it did. Yeah, if you guys need to go, that's cool. Anyone who wants to stay, let's get cleaning. I will be back. All right, how many people are left? 12! You guys weren't supposed to hang around. I don't understand YouTube. Oh my god. Since I'm a YouTuber, yeah. Like, look, I make vlogs. That doesn't necessarily mean I make amazing video content, as you can see right now. Anyway, if you care about what products I'm using, we had some toilet cleaner, we had some Pino Clean, and we got some Windex. Windex is the best. I like the way that they angle the thing just so that it's always easy to get the stuff at the bottom. You know, some of these sprays don't work that well, although this seems to have done it too. And then the other ones I can't see through, so maybe they do and they just suck. I don't use bleach because Stream Elements invited his friends. I don't use bleach because bleach can mix with other products and then you get chlorine gas, which is not good for you. And as someone who is depressed and has thought too much about death, I've told my parents maybe you shouldn't have bleach in the house, but they keep doing it. What can you do? I'm gonna move all these makeup brushes so they can keep drying while I do this. Oh my god, I didn't think of that through. I'll just go and put them on my bed. Very awkwardly. Ah! I can hear Triton complaining. I did give him a treat, but you know. Oh, there's a few other things. Yeah, anyway, be careful when you're mixing cleaning products, blah blah, safety. The main one is just, if you don't use bleach, chances are you'll be fine. Oh, I better flush first. I think I might need a new toilet bowl as well. Yeah, that one's dead. I'll get one when we go back. I gotta turn on the fan, I'm sorry, it's gonna rattle. But you're not meant to be here anyway, you're meant to get bored and leave. I want to see more of an angle. I don't know. Oh man, you guys are nuts. I mean, I guess like here's me talking, me being mentally ill, calling you guys nuts, but come on. Oh, come on, duck. You can do it. There's still plenty of product in there. What are you talking about? Alright. I don't know, I feel like I should sing or something, except that it smells too much, the cleaning products. That's why I turned the fan on. I know what's gonna happen. There'll be someone with a cleaning fetish who like comes along and is like, hey, this is great stuff. Have to like put my butt to the camera, probably. What? Oh, it's Stream Elements. Shilling my merch. Woo! This is a very old artwork. It's more than 50. What? Yeah, it's more than 15 years old now. It's like my face. 130 times, I think. Something like that. Because we destroy germs or something. I'll just get this out of the way. Motivation for me to clean my room. People have told me that this isn't the first time I've done a cleaning live stream. If it helps, I don't mind. I'm here to help. Makes me feel a little bit less narcissistic, right? The story of my channel is I just came on, like when I started YouTube, it was just to keep a video diary, and then people are like, oh, I thought I was the only one who was depressed. This is really helpful. And I'm like, oh. That's a side effect that makes it seem socially acceptable, right? Yeah, I clean every week because it's just the only way to not live in a toxic waste dump. And I don't know how many of you are into Jordan Peterson, but like when he says clean your room, there is something to that. That's not why I started cleaning my room, but it's good advice. Not sure about some of the other things he says, but that's a good one. But if you're gonna watch Jordan Peterson telling you to clean your room, you should watch the Kermit version. I do use a lot of paper towels because I don't like the feeling of cleaning rags and them just being heaps wet and stuff. So I know it's not environmentally friendly, but I'm working with what my mental health will allow. And I mean, environmentally friendly, it depends on what factors you're taking into account. Like with the plastic bag thing, if you ban plastic bags, yes, you are using less plastic. But if people then go and use cotton bags instead, now you're using more water. And in Australia, we are a drought-stricken country, except when La Nina is here. Then we're a flood-stricken country. But we get a lot of drought, and so conserving water is important. So yeah, environmental stuff, like there are pros and cons. It's not as simple as just not using plastic. It's like, what are you using instead? Same with using paper and disposable items. What are you using instead? And then also, being schizoid, it's hard for me to actually care about environmental stuff, and like also being depressed, like I'm gonna die. What do I care about the future? I'm only here because, well, because of the dog, but also I know that, you know, it would hurt a lot of people if I wasn't here. People won't let me just take a peaceful way out. I'm risk averse, pain averse, so I'm stuck here. Why am I talking about that? Oh dear. But yeah, no, so basically I find it hard to care about the future, which makes it hard to care about environmental shit. But also I don't like, I mean, do you want me to get a little bit political? I'm pro-nuclear. I'm skeptical of solar and wind. I used to support them, but then I found out about like the amount of resources that are used, the reliability issues. Nuclear is actually a lot safer than people tend to think. But again, I don't really care enough. I need a bath sponge. Send one to my P.O. box. Right? You know what the solution is to get rid of that thing. Send a new one to my P.O. box. I've just got to find somewhere to put this so I can clean this stuff. What can I move? Everything's so crowded. Maybe I'll just like... Hang on, I do have a tripod somewhere. Come with me. It is going to be a little bit horrible as things clank. Just hang there for a moment. I know I could have done this from the start, but this whole channel is chaos if you haven't figured that out already. Now, if you're wearing, I don't need to be that way. If you're wearing headphones, just bear with, maybe take them out for a moment. Oh, that doesn't seem as bad. Wait, maybe this will be bad. Okay, you're safe. As safe as you can be on my channel. Yeah, doing this. Actually, I'm going to put this one in the shower so I remember to use it when I shower later. And then I'm going to use the other one, so hang on, actually. So that's going to live in my shower now, and I'm going to use my proper expensive cleanser. Where is that? I'm too scared to use retinol yet, but that's the cleanser. I'm going to put that there. Yeah, and then I'll just chuck this up here. Let me just get rid of this bag. Yeah, no. I didn't want to use anything new right before the wedding because I needed to do my makeup, and I'm like, I don't want to risk having some reaction to something. Where was I up to? Just making sure that this is all. Yeah, skincare is one of the weirder things that I've gotten into lately. I don't know how long it'll last because I do get into things for a while, and apparently a lot of schizoids can get into something for a while it's novel, but once the novelty wears off, just lose interest. I think that's a big difference between schizoid and autism, is we just don't have that level of interest in anything, whereas when people with autism get really into something, they get like super into it and they become an expert at whatever it is. Yeah, I can't relate. I'm a little bit good at a lot of things because I'm constantly just bouncing. I can't find anything to focus on at that level. Did you want to see the... Oh, you can still see a bit of sink. As long as I'm not too much in the way. It's okay, nothing's broken. Still not quite stuffy. Sometimes I get carried away and do other bits as well, like the sides, but just give them a quick wipe the dust. Okay, so that's bathroom pretty much done. I've got to put away these ones because I also do the floor. Do you want to see all that as well? I guess I can keep filming now that it's on a tripod and I'll just move you around, but if parents are around, I'm going to end the stream because they don't need to be here, but I'll be back. Okay, yeah, Dad's here. So I think I'm gonna wrap it up there. Thanks for joining me. Yeah, the next thing I would do is vacuum in here, and then I would clean the floor in here with that, Pioneer Clean or Ajax spray and wipe. Is anyone old enough and from Australia to remember the ads for that? Solid gold faucet. No, it's super rusty. I think it's copper or brass, I forget which one's which. And then the thing fell off, so the guy had to put a new one on. It's like this mismatched silver colored metal, I don't know what it is. Yeah, anyway, I'm gonna go so I can focus on vacuuming, and then I've got to let my dog out, make him feel better. I also vacuum some of the other rooms, mainly the ones that my dog would go into. So I don't vacuum the other bathroom, I don't do my brother's room. I do the studio, and then the back room, although Dad was already mopping the back room, so I won't need to do that today. Yeah, that's cleaning. So my cleaning day starts off with bathroom, and vacuuming. Oh, there used to be 5 things. Oh, I've got to fold my clothes. I haven't folded my clothes yet, so I got to do that as well. I just didn't do, I would do it actually as the first thing, but because Dad was mopping and the dog needed to be in the crate for that, I needed to get out of there, because if the dog's in the crate and he sees me, he gets very cross because he wants to hang out with me. I'm his person. It's interesting, I don't feel anything for people, but I have enough empathy for dogs, and I can understand what they're thinking, that they tend to get attached to me as opposed to anyone else in the family. So yeah, it's weird, like how come I can do that for a dog but not for a human? I don't know. Anyway, so folding clothes, cleaning bathroom, vacuuming, and then I used to do puppy maintenance with my soul dog, with Hope. I would brush him on a Sunday, but with Triton I have him on a different brushing schedule. Yesterday I did his nails, today is a rest day, tomorrow I will brush him, and then he'll have a rest day, and then it starts again. So I don't do the puppy maintenance anymore, because it's, you know, on a different schedule. He's a lot fluffier, he needs more brushing. He should be shedding, but I haven't really noticed much. Anyway, and then shower. And I think I used to do the shower first, but nowadays I'm doing the shower last. And that's when I have, like, I'll have Triton in his crate, I will shower, I will use the fancy samples, and like I've also got nice smelling shampoos. I've got a whole bunch of body wash, like you can see some of the, oh, that one does have body wash in it, and then that one has, that might be like a body gel, I don't know. There's finally getting some nice smelling stuff, and I figure I can afford to get nice smelling shampoos and body washes because I don't shower that much. So yes, it would be expensive if you were showering every day, but if you're showering once a week, it lasts me 7 times longer than the average person. So I can afford to spend 7 times more, I guess, but then I've got a lot of it as gifts as well. So yay for gifts. I've also got some cheaper stuff from the goth shop because there are certain smells that only the goth shop does, and they're very good. Yeah, and then I have some, oh, I put them away, but the skincare samples. Lately I've been using one that's like a mask, so for 10 minutes you put that on and it smells nice. I don't know if it does anything for my skin because my skin looks, people tell me that my skin has gotten better since I've been doing skincare and did the facial, but I can't tell. If you make a change, it needs to be dramatic. That's why if you look at my channel, my hair changes a lot, because if I'm going to change my hair, it better be dramatic, otherwise I don't really notice. Anyway, so yeah, I've turned showering into a bit of a ritual, and I think that's helping me feel like the shower sucks less. Anyway, so that's what I'm going to do the rest of the day, pretty much. Hang out with dog, fold my clothes, have a shower when he's having a nap again, and then maybe I'll try to film a proper video instead of this weird live stream, or maybe I'll edit videos that I already have. I don't know. So, yeah. Anyway, thanks for hanging out with this chaotic live stream that was meant to be just about makeup brushes but turned into a lot of rambling, because that always happens when I live stream. If you came here for the 4K UHD disc player, I'm sorry you thought that's what this channel was. There is a channel trailer. Go and watch my channel trailer. You'll get an idea of the absolute chaos. I have no niche. I'm not a real YouTuber. I make like $4 a week off YouTube. That 4K player video though did make me like $12 apparently. So I'm not exactly like, this isn't my career, and I have no incentive to be consistent or to have a niche. So there you go. You're stuck with random stuff. Today was a sort of cleaning, makeup adjacent video with some rambling about mental illness. Yeah, I'm gonna go. You've had plenty of time to chuck more stuff in the chat, although I will just do a manual refresh because sometimes YouTube is a little bit garbage. Don't spend it all in one place. Well, I'll buy myself some Nando's with it. They won't even pay me out until it's accumulated to $100 anyway, so I won't see that money for a long time. Alright, I'm gonna go. You've had plenty of time. You can check out my other videos if you enjoyed this for some strange reason. There is a lot of different stuff on my channel, so if you find, like, what are you interested in, type it into the search bar on my channel. Might work better on desktop. I'm not sure if you can search on mobile that way, but yeah, you can maybe find something else you're interested in on my channel, but most of the time it's just me being chaotic and sometimes my dog. My order at Nando's is a classic burger, lemon and herb, with regular chips, not peri-peri chips, the regular kind, and a cloudy apple juice. I do keep harassing them in their feedback to bring back Tropical Classic, which is basically classic with bacon and pineapple, but for less cost than if you added them manually. Yeah, that's my Nando's order, so I don't know how that's going to help you, but and yeah, lemon and herb. I'm not a spicy person. Yeah, gonna go. Bye. Oh wait, how do I? Because I haven't done vertical in a while. Everything looks different. Oh, here's the. Okay, I'm going. I found the button. I want to stop streaming. Okay, I'm going. Bye.